Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Wednesday the 6th of September. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Reach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. A man was fatally shot by the police in Waterloo, Spanish Town, St. Catherine this morning during an operation targeting suspects in Tuesday's killing of a couple and their son in their home in the community. The police say a .380 pistol was seized from the deceased man in today's confrontation. They say a further search led to the seizure of a .357 Magnum revolver. More from Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay.
Yesterday, the police were alerted sometime after 6 of a scene where a family was killed, a mother, father, and a son. Coming out of that investigation, the police did some additional work. We weren't getting much information at the time from the persons that were there. However, we did indicate that the intelligence community and the investigators would look more closely at what happened yesterday to see if we could find some more information that could give us some lead as to why the individuals were killed yesterday. They are still in the process of doing that. However, at this stage, based on the work that they did, they are satisfied that what happened yesterday morning is a continuation of a gang conflict that started sometime in August, where some incident happened, and this yesterday seemed to be a response to what happened then as part of the ongoing gang conflict. So they carried out an operation this morning. It was intelligence led. Out of that operation, they seized 2 illegal firearms. One person, there was an incident and one person was fatally shot. And 3 persons taken into custody. One of the persons that died in the incident this morning was named yesterday afternoon by the investigators as a person of interest. He was named on the list as Gaza or Gaza man. So the firearm was seized, and he unfortunately he died during that incident. One of the persons in custody of the 3 is a brother of his, and there are 2 other persons. When they did the assessment, one of the things that the investigators realized, even from what they picked up on the ground, that the likelihood of reprisal for that incident yesterday morning was very imminent. And we saw what happened this morning, where the police and the military team that were the operation actually intercepted what could be another serious incident. Probably they saved some lives by virtue of what they did. They are satisfied that they're on the right path in terms of the leads that they are following. They suspect, based on what they know, that there are other individuals that they are looking for. There are still some other persons that are on the list of names that were sent out as persons of interest. And those persons were named as persons of interest because they believe that they can assist them with the investigation, because the investigators will not stop until they find some closure for the family that was killed yesterday. So on the list, they're still looking for Demar Williams, that goes by the name Kiki or Kai Kai. They are looking for Buffy. They are also looking for Richie, and these are all aliases because their true names are not yet ascertained by the investigators. They are looking for Othniel Loban, who goes by the name Tickman. And there are 2 persons of interest who are not residing in Jamaica at the time, but are known to be influencing what's happening in the community. And one goes by the alias Negos, and the other Blacks. So those are some individuals that the investigators would want them to make themselves available so that they can have some discussion.
3 women remain hospitalized after being shot at a bar along Reid Road in St. Andrew. The incident occurred about 4:50 p.m. on Monday. The injured women are all of Reid's addresses. Residents reportedly heard explosions and summoned the police. The injured women were rushed to the hospital where they were admitted. Their conditions are not known at this time, and investigations are ongoing. Former Education Minister Reid, former Caribbean Maritime University President Fritz Pinnock, and their co-accused had their bail extended until October 13 when they appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday. When the matter was called up, attorney Oswest Senior Smith, who is now representing Jamaica Labour Party counsel for the Brownstone Division Kim Brown Lawrence, informed the court that he had not received disclosure. Smith requested that he be served with the material already divulged. In the meantime, the prosecutor informed the court that the case file was incomplete. But the prosecutor said the Crown is uploading the files to a drive that should be ready on or before September 30. Meanwhile, attorney Hugh Wildman told the court that he's preparing documents to appeal the full court ruling that the defendants have a case to answer. Wildman said he expects a date for a hearing. A man wanted for the offense of wounding with intent was captured early Wednesday morning in Gale, St. Mary. Kurt Griffiths, also known as Gar, was taken into custody around 2:30 a.m. He was apprehended without incident during a targeted operation. An investigation is underway at the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC into how one of its new buses was damaged. An image posted to Twitter on Tuesday showed the bus with a smashed side glass. The damaged bus was observed in Portmore, St. Catherine. JUTC Managing Director Paul Abrahams confirmed that the matter is under investigation and is awaiting a report. The bus was one of the 50 newly arrived units deployed on Monday for the start of the new school year. 2 men are in custody after they reportedly attempted to rob a farmer in Lewistor, St. Mary on Tuesday. One of the suspects is being treated in hospital after he was shot by a licensed firearm holder during the incident. A 9mm pistol was also recovered and handed over to the police. According to the police report, a 72-year-old farmer carried out a transaction at a bank in Port Maria and returned home. On exiting his vehicle, he observed 2 men running toward him. The complainant did not recognize the men and ran to his house, where he barricaded himself inside. The men attempted to force their way inside the house, but fled when the farmer discharged his licensed firearm through a window. Another licensed firearm holder was forced to discharge his weapon at the suspects after one opened fire at him as they fled the scene. One of the suspects was shot. A firearm fell from his hand and was retrieved. The other man who left the scene returned and was pointed out as the second suspect. The injured gunman was taken to a medical facility while his crony was taken into police custody. The police are making arrangements to lay charges against one of the 2 suspects involving Monday's fatal shooting of a businesswoman in Little London, Westmoreland. The other suspect, identified as Odain Richard, was killed by a mob. The 20-year-old suspect who is in custody was rescued by a police team after he was also attacked by the mob. He is to be charged in connection with the murder of 39-year-old Latifah Helps, otherwise called Lati. The St. Elizabeth police have charged 73-year-old Enid Townsend of Cabbage Valley District in the parish with the murder of her husband. She reportedly confessed to using a hammer to strike her husband, 74-year-old Arthur Townsend, multiple times. The incident occurred on Saturday about 4 a.m. The police say the alleged confession revealed that the incident arose from a dispute stemming from Townsend's late husband's omission of her name from his will. The disagreement escalated, resulting in her husband allegedly slapping her. She is slated to appear in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court on Thursday. In business, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says while he is unwilling to bail out a private company, failing to support the operations of investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited at this time will undermine the ongoing fraud investigations. The Prime Minister notes that the government's temporary financial support to SSL is to complete the ongoing fraud probe. Last week, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark told the nation that $14 million will be paid monthly to support SSL. This will facilitate investigators' attempts to piece together who and what caused an alleged multi-billion-dollar fraud. The Prime Minister says he has been assured that this support will be short-lived. The Prime Minister was speaking on taking stocks with financial journalist Kalila Reynolds on Tuesday. In sports, the Sunshine Girls will be the recipients of 6.1 million Jamaican dollars. The sum will come from the coffers of the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and the announcement was made by Minister Olivia Grange on Tuesday as the Sunshine Girls made a courtesy call there. The funds are to be shared with the players and staff who helped the girls to a bronze medal at the World Cup in South Africa last month. Each player will receive $300,000, while members of the management team will get $200,000 and other backroom staff members $100,000. The minister also announced that members of the netball team to the Central American and the Caribbean Games will be awarded as well. And that is it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.